switching gears to the NBA, we have to talk about Christian Woods getting picked up by the Los Angeles Lakers in a major move for the offseason, signing him to a 2-year deal. And now with this all happening, I believe I can firmly say this fully completes the retooling process or rather the up-tooling process of the Los Angeles Lakers roster, because they did the one thing I have been waiting on them to do for the longest time. They got another center. Can you believe it? Thank the goodness we are finally seeing a similar team to the 2020 championship squad that the Lakers had when they were well-rounded, on all fronts. And I say that because understand when they won in 2020, they had a great shooting supporting cast. They also had a great ability to switch on defenders 1 through 5. And on top of that, they had great interior presence to be able to not only score with Anthony Davis on the inside, but also be able to catch lives with Dwight Howard and be able to defend, and JaVale McGee as well. And with all three of them, be able to defend inside of the post and be a dominant defensive wall against all teams in the NBA. And now that we see the Lakers retooling and up-tooling and upgrading like they've been all offseason long, it is a legitimate comparison that I can now make to that team in 2020, because they have every single piece necessary to be able to not just compete, not just defend, but also to outscore and outrun any team in the NBA. They got youth, they got shooting, they got length, they got strength, they got defense, they got post presence, they now have rebounding, and they have switch ability on defense. They have the ability to be multifaceted on the offensive end. They can run multiple lineups. Either way you cut it, this team looks like they can go with anybody and not feel outmatched, not feel out of place, but instead now have teams adapt to them because of their personnel. This is phenomenal, and this legitimately puts the Lakers in a great position to get back, not just as one of the best teams in the West, but also to get a great shot at getting past the Nuggets potentially this year and get to the NBA Finals. Because understand, last year, yes, the Nuggets were absolutely the better team. No doubt about it. And they deservedly so. They had been on the cusp of a championship the past couple of years, had been first in the West a couple times, had always had one of the better records in the NBA, if not the best record in the NBA for multiple seasons. And they finally got over the hump and they won the chip with Nikola Jokic, solidifying himself right now as the best basketball player in the world today. However, now, with the loss of Bruce Brown, this is a legitimate situation where one of their X factors is now gone. They have not retooled as much as we've seen other teams in the league. Now, do they have to? No, because they're pretty well-rounded, absolutely. But now we get to a situation where the Lakers were one of the main reasons why they lost that series. Well, not just because of Nikola Jokic's and Jamal Murray's phenomenal play. Absolutely. No, again, not taking any credit away from what that team did, because they absolutely ran roughshod, and deservedly so, on the Los Angeles Lakers and against every other team that they faced in the playoffs, because they were just that good. However, now we can legitimately say that from top to bottom, Lakers have been able to match one of the biggest things that made the Nuggets as well as the Bucks when they were winning the championship and other teams around the league like Boston Celtics, who is match their depth. They now have a roster from top to bottom similar to 2020 that is filled with pieces that can all compete and legitimately add to the production of the Los Angeles Lakers. This is what I've been waiting for from this team, to get back to the roots of what got them to the dance in the first place, which is depth, defense, and the ability to run the fast break better than anybody else in the league. And that's what this team now looks like it can do. Christian Woods is not uber athletic, but an athletic 6'10" power forward / center who can shoot phenomenally. Again, he shot 37% from the field last year, on top of averaging 16 and 7 last year, with also 1.1 blocks on the season with Dallas. And we've seen him be able to carry the offensive load like he did in Houston when he averaged 21 points a game on very good shooting from across the board. Because of the fact that Houston didn't really have anybody else, he's been able to carry the load as the focal point on offense, as well as being able to be in a role if he comes off the bench, still a applicable and still be able to perform just as well when he's got a diminished role. Even if he's in the starting lineup, he knows how to adapt, he knows how to adjust, and he also knows how to still be able to utilize his best assets, which is being able to be a stretch 4 or stretch 5 if he does play the center or power forward on this team, as well as having the ability to, if he needs to create his own shot, take it off the dribble from time to time against slower big men that's going to be matched against him, as well as being able to have the hustle to get back on defense, run out in transition, and play to the strengths of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is running in fast break. This is a pickup that makes so much sense for the Los Angeles Lakers and has now put them in a prime position to take the reins as being one of the high favorites in the NBA, not just in the West, but in the NBA, to be seen as a real threat to get to a championship. And this, I can't wait to see the matchup between the Nuggets and the Lakers come this season when it happens again, if everybody stays healthy. Also, by the way, he averages 60 over the last 4 seasons. He's been playing between 62 and 68 games every year, so he's relatively healthy, barring missing 20 games in 18 games in the season. So this is great because with Anthony Davis being so injury prone, now you get a situation where you can still have big men that can actively take the load off of AD, take some of the brunt of the force of being down in the paint, and give him some time to not have so much on his joints, on his ligaments, and on his body to keep him as primed as can be for when the playoffs come around. So all of this is to essentially say I can't wait to see the Lakers play the Nuggets this season, because now we're looking at a situation where it's going to be depth versus depth and stars versus stars on an equal level playing field. And we can honestly say right now it's looking really like the Lakers, if everything bows like it looks like it's going to bow, it can really be said that the Lakers may have the best depth in the NBA right now in terms of well-rounded pillar-to-post talent across the board. With Gabe Vincent, with Cam Reddish, with now Christian Woods, on top of Rui Hachimura, on top of Austin Reeves, on top of D'Lo, everything looks like they have actively done everything possible, at least within their power, to the point that now every hole that we had a problem with in terms of what the Los Angeles Lakers were watching them over these past couple years, ever since 2020, now has been plugged up and has now been solidified as no longer a weakness, but now a legitimate strength for this team. This is going to be a very interesting NBA season for the Los Angeles Lakers, because this looks like the best opportunity for them to actively get to a championship. With LeBron getting surgery and being healthy, most likely, come next season, and Anthony Davis seemingly having better durability like we saw in the playoffs. Again, we're still concerned, and it's why I'm so happy that they got Jackson Hayes and Christian Woods to help carry some of that offensive load down low, with him being able to be seemingly more durable and still being the defensive monster that we've seen him as. If he's able to sustain or even bolster his offensive output, coupled with now the surrounding pieces of a complete team around both of those two stars, you're looking at a situation where the Lakers look like they are ready to take on the entirety of the NBA. And don't be surprised if a lot of people, potentially myself included, even have them as one of the favorites to win a title this year.